What is up, everybody? It is the Monday after the Saints lost to the LA Chargers, and Dennis Allen is still the head coach of the Saints. Shocker, right? Not really. I came across this tweet earlier on Twitter, and it got me thinking, man. It's infuriating. It really is. And here it is. It says it's from Chris here. It says one of the worst parts about the product the Saints put on the field yesterday was that it was after 10 days of rest slash preparation. The Chargers, on the other hand, were coming off of a short week. That's coaching. And he is absolutely correct here. The Saints last played on a Thursday night game against the Broncos. That same week, the Chargers played on Monday night against the Cardinals, and they lost that game against the Cardinals. So if you do the math, right, the Saints had a 4-day advantage in preparation and rest, and still came into this game and got blown out against, let's be honest, an LA Chargers team who has not been great this year. They came into this thing with a 3-3 record. They've been pretty mid, right? It's not like the Saints ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, every team they play is a buzzsaw at this point, but they played the Chargers, who have kind of been, a little disappointing this year in terms of offense, their offense at least. A lot of people were giving Greg Roman, their offense coordinator, flack for kind of handcuffing Justin Herbert and going to more of like a run first offense, short throws type of thing, turning him into their Alex Smith, if you will, just like their days in San Fran, but not against the Saints. The Saints are the remedy game. The Saints are everybody's get right game right now. That's just embarrassing. Like that is embarrassing that teams are playing the Saints to get back on track. I mean, Justin Herbert looked great against the Saints. He ran around, had some nice scrambles, threw some bombs down the field. He looked amazing against the Saints yesterday. So the Saints, like I said, everybody's get right game right now. And Chris says that's coaching, and that is just it's so true, man. Like the fact that the Saints came into this thing with an advantage in preparation and rest, and still got blew out of the water against a team who's not even good, to be honest. It's just the magnitude. I don't think people really. I think a lot of you guys do, and a lot of us do, but I don't think a lot of fans still recognize just how historically bad of a head coach that Dennis Allen is. So let's take a look at it a little bit here. All right, so this here is a tweet from John of the Saints Wire, right? Dennis Allen has now coached 78 NFL games, losing 52 of them. There have been 147 coaches to work 78 or more games in NFL history, but only 2 have a worse career win percentage than he does. So, there have been 147 coaches in the history of the NFL to have the God-given opportunity to be the head coach of an NFL franchise and 78 games, right? At least 78 games. Dennis Allen, unfortunately, is one of those guys. And of the 147 that have been given this opportunity, only 2 have a worse career win percentage than he does. I want you to stop, pause the video if you have to, and actually think about this statistic here. Out of 147 coaches in history with this type of opportunity that Dennis Allen has been given, only 2 have ever been worse. And it's honestly not far off. And it seems like Mickey is giving him a real shot to become number 1 in this statistical category. Dennis Allen, 26 and 52. That's .333 win percentage. Marion Campbell was 34, 80 and 1. That's a 300, right? .300. Joe Bugle, I think it's how you say it, 24 and 56. Okay? That's awfully close to Dennis Allen right there, man. I don't know. 26 and 52, 24 and 56. I mean, by the end of the season, he could be right there with these 2. He could be statistically the worst head coach in NFL history that has coached at least 78 games. So when I say that Dennis Allen needs to be fired, when I say, he brings nothing to the table as a head coach, I'm not these aren't just like baseless. It's not an opinion that comes out of nowhere, right? It's what you see on the field, what you hear about off the field, and the numbers. He's not just a bad head coach. He is a historically bad head football coach. And if you ask him, he'll just say, "Well, we got to clean things up." That's his favorite thing to say. We got to clean things up. We got to get things cleaned up. He'll throw an assistant under the bus. He'll throw a player under the bus. Like earlier in his press conference, he was asked about the players only meeting that the Saints are planning to have, and his response was, "Well, it's not a player thing and it's not a coach thing. It's an us thing." Like, dude, he's just so tone deaf that I really think that Dennis Allen thinks that he's a great NFL head football coach. I really think that. I really think that he is so deluded in his mind that he thinks that everything that has gone on is not his fault. Like, here's an example of something of what I'm talking about. So, Dennis Allen today, he was asked again about his thoughts on the offense not getting better after getting several players back, and he mentioned the penalties. My guy, if the same penalties keep happening in big moments every single game, who does that fall back on? The coaches. You're either coaching it or you're condoning it. Period. You are coaching it or condoning it. So maybe if this is happening every single year, if your teams are losing, your teams are committing penalties, the locker room doesn't really like you. Listen to anybody, listen to any Saints player when they are specifically asked about Dennis Allen. Go watch AK. Go watch who was it the other day? Cam Jordan. Go watch any interview that they are specifically asked about the name and the man Dennis Allen. They never mention him directly. They will flip it and give some generic answer. It is never a straight up yes, Dennis Allen. We love Dennis Allen. We support Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen's a great coach. It's always, oh, we believe. It's just a generic answer. It is so obvious these guys don't like him. Don't think he's the man to lead the group. But unfortunately, Mickey Loomis, the second owner of the New Orleans Saints, thinks that he is. So, but back to what I was saying. If this keeps happening, it happened when you were a Raider. It happened when you were now that you're a New Orleans Saint head coach, right? You have gone into an NFL season, what, 7 different times now in your career, and all 7 times the same thing keeps happening. Maybe it's time to just accept the fact that you can't coach, at least not be the head guy. Because you just at some point you got to look at the common denominator here, Dennis, and you're the common denominator, man. You're the loser at the helm, and I have nothing against the guy, him as a man. I swear I don't. But it's just the way the product he puts out on the field, and then the way he talks about it afterwards, and the way he just acts like it's just he acts like everything has to be perfect for him to not be a loser. Newsflash, nothing there is never going to be the perfect opportunity in the NFL. You're never going to be completely healthy. Okay, you're never going to be have the best players on the field on every single position. It's just not going to happen. But that is where coaching comes in. Sometimes you're going to be down a day of preparation or down 4 days if you're the Chargers. That's where coaching comes in to fill that gap. And again, I've said it in the past few videos. This is not about the Saints losing a lot of games in a row with all the injuries they've had. It's not about that. It's about the manner in which they're losing them in and the amount of points they're losing them in. That's where coaching is supposed to fill that gap at least a little bit. And you can make all the excuses you want on the offensive side of the ball. Look at Denver. I hate to say it. Look at what Denver and Sean Payton is doing right now with their rookie quarterback. Go look at their skill position and what they're doing. They have Cortland Sutton, yeah, but outside of him, pretty much it's all Saints castaways. Adam Troutman, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Lucas Kroll. Go look. They have a winning record. I don't know. They have a good defense too, but aren't you as well? Aren't the New Orleans Saints supposed to have a good defense as well? I don't know. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.